Welcome, Spartans, to Mission Debrief. We're playing every mission of the mainline Halo video game series in chronological order, discussing our experiences and sprinkling in a little lore along the way. If you'd like to play along and have your thoughts read on the show, email us at podcastevolved@gmail.com or drop us a tweet at podcastevolved on Twitter. We'll be playing the Metropolis mission from Halo 2 on the next episode. This episode, we're debriefing the Outskirts from Halo 2. I'm your host, Colin Perkins, alongside David Arnold.
Hello, everybody.
And Krysta Brown.
Regret my BR in your face, alien scum.
Very nice. Last mission, the Covenant found Earth. Master Chief greets the relatively small invading force with his new dual-wielding skills and a beautifully balanced battle rifle before using the bomb planted on Cairo Station to punch a hole in their fleet. Meanwhile, Thel 'Vadam is made the scapegoat for the loss of Installation 04 by the Covenant hierarchy. This mission, Miranda Keyes, Sergeant Avery Johnson, and Chief descend on the city of New Mombasa and discover that they're dealing with the Prophet of Regret's fleet. A scarab suddenly surfaces and grounds their squadron of pelicans. Chief and Johnson proceed through the city on foot, Warthog, and Ghost in an effort to board the Covenant ship that's hovering over the city to take out one of those crazy aliens riding in a floaty chair. The date of the game is October 20th, 2552. Where do you guys want to start? Let's do this.
Let's
defend
beginning.
Yeah, the intro is awesome.
Yeah, that intro is pretty good. The regret. David, do you want to take us through that a little bit?
It is pretty cool. So they just intercepted a message, and all they could translate was regret. And they're like, what does it mean? And Johnson just butts in with his, I regret these alien assholes. I regret something about invading, and I certainly regret the core beating up my raggedy ass fleet. And everyone goes, hoorah!
Hoorah!
So many good lines. He's so good.
Yeah, he's straight off the bat like an amazing character, and it's just so good. Johnson's so good. So immediately we are given the classic Halo trope of pelicans crashing, constantly crashing.
Yep.
All the time. Every time there's a pelican, it crashes.
It pretty much. So we got 3 pelicans here, and of the 3, 2 are crashed and shot down by a scarab. So that was a pretty cool kind of moment of the scarab. The first time we've ever seen or even heard of such a thing.
Yep. Crashing
through the streets and blowing.
We've seen it in chronological order, but not in.
Sorry, that's true. We would have seen it in Reach.
Yeah, but we didn't really. I mean, there was a kind of that one moment in Reach where you're kind of riding through their legs, but you don't really get up close and personal with them at all.
That's true. So anyway, would have been our first image in terms of release order of the image, or the first time we see this. So this is pretty cool. So the pelicans get shot down, including the one you're on. So after a pretty cool crash landing, you wake up and it's kind of a cool scene of a cool moment. I think it's different depending on difficulties, what Cortana does and says. So there's a kind of a cool part of it where you hear kind of, sometimes she's knocking, it sounds like she's knocking on the inside of your helmet.
Yeah, that's what
kind
I
of
heard.
wake you up. Yeah, so that's kind of pretty cool. And sometimes she repeats the thing that she says. I think even the mission level is careful, there's 2 of us now, or something like that. It's got just like a homage back to the first mission of Halo.
Yeah, that makes sense.
In CE. So it's kind of cool. And if you're like me, you straight away you swap your SMG for Johnson's sniper, and normally he gives you. So I always swap out the SMG for the sniper.
I forget that you can take their weapon, the Marines' weapons.
Yeah, that's a cool thing about this game. You can swap weapons.
When I took Sergeant Johnson's sniper, he said, "That feels bad, Chief, real bad."
Really?
He also he also can say other stuff. Like sometimes he says if it was anybody else.
Right. But you can't do that in the first game, right? So that's another new addition, right?
No, it's a new addition. You think you could do it in Reach? You couldn't swap out Noble's weapons, but you could take Marines' weapons.
Right.
If I remember correctly. But yeah, this is the one of the first introduction of this mechanic.
And it becomes kind of a staple in the series.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And it is kind of important. I actually like the little kind of the meta game of giving my Marines power weapons and having them actually be useful, let's say. So Marines, don't give them rocket launchers, but giving them...
They will murder you.
They will murder you. Giving them sniper rifles makes them way better than because Marines will rock around in this game with SMGs, and on literally normal up, they're useless. Do you know what I mean? They're just there to take bullets. So as cannon fodder, but I like giving them power weapons, especially sniper rifles.
Yeah, because they'll hit sometimes.
Yeah. So what I will say, because I've talked a lot already, I love this mission. It is one of my favorites in kind of all of Halo. I love these 2 missions back to back. I used to always come back just to replay them, play Outskirts and Metropolis, because they flow into each other really well. And I love the level design. I love fighting on Earth through a city that's kind of under attack. And that's like ODST brings in that kind of flavor as well. Obviously, it's set in the same location and stuff. So
that's what I was gonna say, is that when we come back to play ODST, it'll be interesting to see if they do, like, if there is any crossover at all, you know, because we're at the Hotel Zanzibar bar. I'm forgetting now if it's an ODST. I don't know if you guys remember, but it'll be cool to see if any of this stuff pops up. So yeah, we essentially so I missed the skulls from the first mission, and I kind of forget about skulls, especially I'm just playing on normal. I'm more focused on the lore stuff versus I'm not really doing achievements. We've been covering them, so we'll just kind of mention them. You can hop up kind of towards the beginning of the mission and above on top of these buildings, and there's a skull. It's hidden in a garbage can, and the walkthrough I watched, you couldn't even see the skull, so they seem to be more hidden than they were in Halo CE. And then the Cairo station. Oh wait, excuse me. The Cairo station one is the one that's hidden in a garbage can. You have to jump above the rafters. Kind of, I think it's around in one of the hangars.
Most of the skulls on Halo 2 are inaccessible on every difficulty except Legendary. So you have to play Legendary to get most of the skulls in Halo 2.
Oh, is that right?
That could be why I don't have a lot of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So
but
yeah, you got to play this mission a lot in order to either do a walkthrough or just wander around, I guess. But that sounds pointless.
No, just look it up.
Yeah. Let someone else wander around for you.
I think the very first time I played this game, back when it first got released, there was skulls in the game as well. It was the first instance of skulls. And on this map, I actually picked one up without realizing what it was. Like, I just went jumping around the map and was exploring. And it's near the start of this game, you can pick up the blind skull, which removes your HUD. And I instantly hated it. And that's why all skulls just left a bad taste in my mouth. Like, I never picked one up again until I knew what it was. Like, obviously I didn't look this up or I didn't know anything. I just picked up this skull and I lost all my HUD, and I was like, oh my god, this sucks.
Yeah.
So
there's like a couple of good ones and a lot of bad ones.
Yeah. So
they're supposed to make the game harder.
Boo.
Or more fun with the exploding one, the grunt birthday.
Some of them are fun.
Anyway,
most of them suck.
Not fun.
Yeah, so we get greeted by a grunt right away, and then we proceed to a little area where there's rooftop turrets, and there's a bunch of waves here that essentially attack us. We have
in the courtyard,
that courtyard area. So we have elites and grunts and jackals, a couple of waves of those. We got some drones. Then we have a drop ship with more Covenant, and then eventually some hunters will bang down the doors. Do you guys do anything?
Cool moment, actually.
That is a cool moment, yeah. When you can kind of see them kind of knocking at the door, essentially, right? And then it finally bursts open.
This can be really painful on Legendary because you'll get jackal snipers, which are the bane of your existence on Legendary in this game. So in the courtyard scenes where you get mobbed by jackal snipers.
Because one-shot hit on Legendary, right? Or one-shot kill?
Yeah, it is.
You're right.
Yep.
Yeah.
If they hit you with that beam rifle, you are dead.
Yep.
You're dead.
Yep. No
so
fun.
I have to say, I loved the hunters in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know they got rid of the one-shot kill, which was obviously important because they were just pointless otherwise.
Yeah.
They become a lot more effective when you can't just one-shot them. But you can stun them with frag grenades, which I thought was really cool.
Oh, okay.
If you throw a frag grenade and you hit them, you see them stun, and they don't really drop, but their arms go to their sides and their neck stretches out, and they kind of do this kind of weird dazed stance. It's really cool. It only lasts for like a second or two.
Yeah.
But it allows you to get some shots into their neck and stuff like that, into their actual weak points.
I hopped on a turret, and they went down pretty easy from the turret.
Yeah.
On normal they do go down easy enough.
Yeah. Any other kind of tactics that you use in this kind of area, Krysta? Do you just run around, or do you stay put and do a turret?
I stay put and use a sniper and a turret.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
On the very top
take out
or
the
on the
elites
second
with sniper.
level?
I usually stick to the very top, and then once the hunters come through, I drop down to the turret.
Yeah, that makes sense. So after we
Important
clear...
thing to note...
Go ahead.
Sorry, just on that. The Phantoms in this game are stupidly difficult because they have like 3 turrets on them instead of 1.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's an important thing to note. They suck.
Yeah,
but at least you can shoot them off. So
they will
the turret
shred
is
your
handy
day.
for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially on the higher difficulties. They you just have to go inside the building and wait till they go away, essentially, right?
Yeah, I mean, I will say I do like the design of the Phantom when we're moving from the dropship of the Spectre, the Spirit, to the Phantom. I do like the Phantom. I like the grav lift style of them just dropping out of the center of it, essentially. I think it's a really cool idea. I like that it's enclosed, and I don't know, it's a cool vehicle, and I do like it.
So did we not see Phantoms in CE? It was all spirits?
No, it's all spirits.
All spirits.
Oh,
now, we may have seen Phantoms in Reach. I can't really remember.
Yeah,
Reach
only had Phantoms, I think.
Reach only had Phantoms. Okay. I thought it might have both, but I can't remember.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, there's
maybe there was one or two spirits, but most.
I think there is spirits, because I think in the first mission, spirits drop enemies in.
It's mostly Phantoms, but there are like a couple spirits.
Yeah.
There's so many little nuances like that change from game to game, and we've played all the games so many times. It kind of all runs together, and it takes kind of upon reflection. Oh yeah, I didn't see that in the last game, or this is a new mechanic. So we might stumble about that a little bit throughout this series, but lots of new stuff that they've added into this game outside of the just the story stuff that we've covered off a lot of in the first episode. Now that we're just really this mission is really about just shooting aliens. That's when a lot more of this mechanic stuff and differences come to life. All right, so then we clear out this area. Then we start to go and advance through the corridors, and now we start meeting some more jackal snipers here.
A lot more. There's like 3 of them in the when you first get in there. There's 3 of them, and then there's like 4 or 5 as you're going through the city.
Oh yeah, Sniper Alley. I think this has even been dubbed.
Yeah, Sniper Alley's
unofficially.
But right before you get to Sniper Alley, though, you lose Johnson. So he's with you up until this point, and then Miranda chimes in on the comm and needs him to go somewhere else. So
help him hops on. But I will say, if you haven't taken his sniper rifle, take it now, because he just takes it away with him.
Oh yeah.
Now up ahead there are sniper rifles that you can find if you explore in this map. You can find sniper rifles to pick up, but obviously, I think it's a huge benefit to grab it now, leading up to the alleyway that you're about to face.
I don't mind the beam rifle. I picked that up and I'm fairly effective with that. So I grabbed that whenever I needed that long range.
That's true.
Yeah, because otherwise I was running BR. Let's see, what was I running? I was running BR and SMG for a lot of it. I don't think I really picked up any Covenant weapons besides the beam rifle. So you guys are running sniper and BR then?
Yep. Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, I am trying to dual wield because it's on normal and because there's a lot, and it is somewhat fun mechanic and it's a bit nostalgic.
Yeah. And
you lose the ability in later games, so it's just I'm using it while I have it essentially. And on normal, it's doable.
Yeah. So we deal with these snipers, and we've talked about kind of you're fighting through the city. So take a moment to kind of as you're playing through it to kind of realize, hey, that you're in the middle of a city that's kind of been destroyed or is kind of in the middle of being destroyed. And you do find that pistol that they took all the fun away from it. Essentially, it's just kind of blah now.
It's a piece of garbage.
It's just atrocious.
A piece of garbage.
Yeah, it fires really fast, but other than that, it's
an affront to the word Magnum.
Yeah, they overcorrected in my opinion from the Halo 2 pistol from the Halo 1.
You better believe it.
Yeah. So you're able to find it kind of laying around in this area, and then as you progress, we get to the Hotel Zanzibar shortly, and then there's another one for you to pick up at that point. When I got to the Hotel Zanzibar, did you guys notice the superintendent was on the wall?
No.
No, actually I did not.
Inside,
cool.
There's a graphic, and we'll talk about the superintendent in ODST, but if you flip back and forth to the old graphics, superintendent wasn't a thing yet, so he's not there. But in the anniversary edition, they did add him in there, which I thought was cool.
Oh, that's a really cool touch.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That is pretty cool. I mean, there's other cool stuff that they did add in as well, which I'll just say, if you notice, there's a lot of posters and graffiti around the city. And some of them is pretty cool. Like, one of the things they added was a copy of the Mombasa Times with the headline "Corbulo Gone, Not Forgotten," and it features low-res screenshots from Halo 4 Forward Unto Dawn, which is a pretty cool thing. So I don't know if you guys anyone's watched it yet, but Forward Unto Dawn was a mini web series, which was awesome, about an academy called Corbulo, where young Navy recruits were trained to be officers and stuff.
Okay.
It was a prequel to Halo 4, and it introduced a bunch of Halo 4 characters. So that's just a quick summary of what it is. So this is Academy spoilers for that thing gets attacked by the Covenant and gets essentially destroyed. So it's kind of pretty cool. I like the touches to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, lots of good stuff that they added in with the Anniversary Edition. The one thing that they didn't take out was the flashlight.
Woo, yay, flashlight.
There is a skull that switches Master Chief's flashlight out for Arbiter's
stealth
camo,
which is cool.
yeah.
Oh.
So you can have if you put that on, you can have camo instead.
I like that. Very
yeah,
nice.
it's really nice.
That's a good touch. But yeah, I'm forgetting if you even need the flashlight other than like this one little hallway, which you don't really need it anyway.
This game isn't as dark as Halo 1, especially with the updated graphics. They really did a good job at lighting everything, so it's not needed as much.
Yep. So we make our way through this darkened corridor through the Hotel Zanzibar, and then we find a dropship on the other side here, and this is where you see the city. City of New Mombasa in the distance. There's a shoreline here, and then after you clear out the dropship, the elites and the grunts, then you get a warthog. It's time for more warthog fun.
Yay! So I thought it was cool, but they took away the invincible vehicles in this game.
Yes.
So your warthogs can blow up. That's an important distinction to know.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they introduced driver AI, which, while bad, I still try and do it sometimes, just because it can be fun sometimes. So if you want to you can get on the back of the turret and have the AI drive you through the map very badly.
So before we talk about kind of driving and stuff like that, I do want to take just a pause because we saw this big city, right? We just kind of surfaced through and we see the city. I feel like it's a little missed opportunity still for me now that the fight is set in New Mombasa and it's a fictional city in fictional Halo, but they never actually we never go and see like the Eiffel Tower or the Empire State Building, kind of like those iconic what are they called? Just buildings that we know of
landmarks?
on Earth. Landmarks, yeah. So it's hard, you're in this sci-fi universe. It's Earth, but it's not really Earth in your mind because you don't see that sort of stuff, if that makes any sense.
At the same time, like, when it comes to doing places that are very recognizable, it takes a lot more resources and time to actually build it. Because if you build it wrong, people are going to notice. Even if it's in the far future, it has to be believable.
Yeah.
And I think that if it's not believable and if it's not done right, it can really ruin immersion. So it makes sense for them to have it in a futuristic city that doesn't exist right now.
Yep. Yeah, that makes sense. It's just, I understand why they did it, but it's still like, if one of those landmarks was, up, even like the Sphinx or something like that, granted it would be super old, it's already old enough, but it would just kind of be, it would be a little trigger, like, oh, this is Earth, and I'm defending Earth specifically, not this futuristic version of Bungie's Earth. Anyway, I don't know if you guys had that feeling at all or not, but
I kind of liked that they use unusual locations in Halo, because like the main center for like Oni is like here and stuff like that, and it's just unusual that it would be. I like the idea that we have a modern, built up, futuristic African city.
Yeah,
I think that's really. I think that's kind of important, and I like that it's a different location than it would normally you'd expect. And I think is UNSC headquarters in Sydney in Australia, so that's kind of that's cool. I like that. It's not where you would expect a lot of future things to be, like future, sci-fi is always based in either America or Europe or something like that, so I like that we're getting different locations.
Yeah,
it diversified.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
but I also think that the first mission, in the first mission you see Earth a lot because it's right outside the window, and I think that's kind of what sets the setting, is just seeing the globe in the background.
Yeah.
Instead of just like the setting being in a city that's recognizable.
But it's interesting to hear you say that, David, though, because a lot of the sci-fi stuff, a lot of just media in general, is based in the United States. So it's refreshing where Bungie, really nothing. There is some stuff down the road, but none of this is United States stuff. It's all kind of just global, Africa or wherever else they are, which I think is refreshing.
Yeah. I do like that. You get a lot of, obviously, American voice actors, and you get a lot of, there is a lot, obviously it's an American company, there's a lot of American isms in here, but I always thought that, like, Halo's world, the future is quite diverse in terms of like cultures and people and stuff like that. I mean, ODST has loads of kind of African kind of or not language, what am I trying to say, accents and stuff like that, which I like. But the city itself feels diverse, even an African city like that, which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
So I just, we'll talk more when we get to ODST. But another thing is, I don't know if you guys noticed, but there is a bunch of megaphones. There, a man can be heard broadcasting announcements in Swahili throughout the mission.
Oh,
so that's
really?
kind of cool. It's a very subtle touch. I had to look it up because I didn't actually hear it, but I thought it was pretty cool that
Very
there is
cool.
a guy speaking a local dialect.
Very cool. All right, so now it's vehicle time. Krysta, you were gonna say something about vehicles, I think.
Yeah, so I picked up a ghost through the entire thing, but the back to the driving AI, like 3 NPCs took the Warthog and pretty much kept up with me the entire mission.
Yeah.
Well, I like doing that too. I like taking a ghost and having Warthog come with you, kind of back you up a little bit. So sometimes if you can kind of push them through and they'll follow you along because the AI is a little bit weird. But I think depending on how long you sit in some, you can get reinforcements. So I think I've gotten 2 Warhogs before.
Whoa.
I think that's doable.
Really?
You can get like 2 Warhogs. Yeah, I think so.
Oh, dang, that's cool. Yeah, I was the same way. I had a Warthog follow me around pretty much the entire time, and that was pretty rad. I enjoyed that. So we go along the shoreline here. We get chased by a couple ghosts. There's ghosts to find as well along the way. I like the ghosts, and now we can do the speed burst in the ghosts, which I think is awesome. So
so you can
it's really
hijack
cool.
them.
Oh, boarding. Yeah. Good thing. That's another great mechanic introduced in this game, is the ability to board vehicles. We may or may not have talked about it. We probably even pointed out during Reach.
Yeah.
Because obviously there's AI driving in Reach. We definitely mocked Kat for being terrible.
Yes.
And but there's also
She's
vehicle
trash.
boarding.
So vehicle boarding in both ways, right? They can board you. Covenant can board our vehicles, and then we can board theirs. Can you jump on the front of ghosts too? Is that this game?
You jump on the front and then you kind of jump around and like kind of kick them out from
off,
the side.
That's right. Okay. Can you plant a grenade too, or is that just a race?
That's just rates.
Okay. That's right. Yeah, so we do go along the shore, which I kind of like, because this portion of it, because you almost feel like, should I be here? Is this the right spot? There's a couple parts where you kind of proceed around where the shoreline gets really tight and you can drive around, but you have to be a little bit careful. And when you get to the side, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I am supposed to be over here. This is where I am supposed to go. The terminal is in this area. There's a structure, burnout structure that you pop in and get the terminal. I missed the terminal. Did you guys remember to get in and get it?
Yep.
I did, yeah.
You did, nice. Something that I'm kind of focused on the story stuff right now. So if I don't remember where it was right away or whatnot, I'm skipping a lot of that stuff. It's things that you can always come back and do, and then just kind of quit out of the mission once you get the terminal or the skull and pop that achievement.
And there is ways of, if you go into the main menu of Halo Master Chief Collection, go to extras and go videos, you can look at all the terminals that way. It'll take you into the Halo channel to view them, but you can view them one after the other, or just pick the one that you want.
Are they
so
in
you don't
there?
actually have to go into a mission to do it.
Are they in there before you unlock them?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, that's nice.
Yep.
That is a nice touch, instead of having to go to YouTube, which, well, I guess it depends. How you
I'm
want to
sure
do it.
YouTube is probably still easier than doing what I just
right,
said. But anyway.
exactly. Anything else about this kind of
game
drive here? You go through this giant purple cannon, which doesn't really do anything. At least it didn't for me.
It's an AA cannon.
No, it's an AA cannon, yeah.
So I just kind of cruise through here, this section. I don't really go around and clear out, especially on normal. I don't clear out the areas as much.
I do it for fun.
Do you?
I do for funsies too.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Because it's fun, right? It's fun to shoot aliens.
Yeah,
it is.
And I
fun.
like the seeing the kind of Covenant fortified in different areas. Like they have this kind of grav tower thing, like a sentry tower. We always get like sniper jackals up, and I always thought those were really cool. I like seeing just how the Covenant invade and like eventually like they seem to have all these kind of mobile, kind of what I'm trying to say, mobile kind of
bases,
fortifications and stuff like that. Yeah, bases and stuff that they set up. So I thought it was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have the kind of tower guys, right?
Yeah.
Yep, that's all good stuff. So, and the other cool thing here is kind of towards the end, right before you enter the tunnels, is the drop pods come through, which I thought was great. They just kind of drop out of the sky.
Oh yeah, the less cool ODST drop pods.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And then, the elites pop out, and he's like, "Oh, this is something new." There's just a lot of cool stuff in this game. They did a great job with it. They did a really good job evolving it from the first entry CE. Who wants to take us through the tunnels? I think David, you're tunnel guy. Is there like a cool achievement in here somewhere? Like, is there a weird thing, or is that a different game?
For the tunnel? I don't know. What are you thinking of?
I thought there was like some funky achievement where you could like get on top of the tunnel somewhere else, but that might be a different game or different section. So forgive me if I'm misplacing it.
There's a lot of things in this game for like getting up on top of buildings and shortcuts and stuff, and then in this mission you can do it a lot. I don't know if getting on top of the tunnel is possible in this one.
Okay.
But in the next mission there is like a scarab gun that you can do.
Oh, maybe it's that one. Okay, that's next.
We'll talk about that when we get to that mission.
Okay.
Yeah, there is a bunch of stuff that you can do there.
Okay, so what's the weird vehicle in here that you guys see? What's that? It's like it's not in CE, and I don't remember it being in the other games.
This is the only game that it actually shows up in, I think.
It's got a turret on top, and it's got a ghost in the middle.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like a weird troop carrier thing that doesn't carry troops. I don't. Yeah, it's a very unusual vehicle.
Type 29 troop/vehicle transport. Yay!
Yay.
What a
also
name.
known as the Shadow.
There we go. Wait, much better.
Yeah, that's the actual. But it's literally just made to just transport stuff back and forth. Because Cortana actually says this a couple times. Well, she says it once in the tunnels that the Covenant were not expecting the presence of humanity on Earth, which is why a simple vehicle like this that's literally just for transportation would be present, because it's not a fighting vehicle.
And that's such a throwaway line that you maybe like would have, if you played it the first time when it originally came out in 2004, you'd be like, what's going on here? But that's where that prologue cutscene that we talked about last time, that comes into play from that line there too. So they just brought enough to find this portal that they're looking for. They didn't actually think that they were going to come and invade, the home world of the humans. So
which they'd been looking for years.
Right. So I guess a happy
which
accident
is kind of,
for them.
Yeah, and it kind of makes sense then why we have scarabs, because scarabs are essentially, they're not really a military vehicle. They're actually for digging.
Yeah,
so
they're mining platforms.
Exactly, that's exactly what they are. Now, they obviously had been modified for combat and stuff, where they have weapons and stuff on them now, but obviously their big beam, the extractor beam, can be used for that. So,
which is why they're actually which is why they look so funky, like a weird spider, because it actually latches on to four sides of a hole and can just dig down.
Yeah, right. That's pretty cool.
But yeah, this particular one in Halo 2 is the Type 47A. There is a 47B that we see in later games, but the main distinction is that this one is 100% mechanical. And we'll get into the B in Halo 3.
Yeah, is that the stuff that has other things inside it?
Yes, that is the Type.
Interesting. Didn't know there was a distinction between them. That's cool.
Yeah, this is the Protoss.
Very cool. So we kind of cruise through these tunnels here. I have fun, especially when I'm on the Ghost. The Ghost is a lot of fun. Just kind of, I guess, ghost fight. Is that what you call it? You're not calling it dog fighting.
Well, they have so many possibilities for cool jumps too.
Yeah,
they just like put ramps everywhere. It's so much fun to boost off
it in
of
the
them.
air too. So like if you're kind of off kilter, you can kind of lean it back and make a nice landing. Otherwise, you can just get out and flip it. But it's better to land on your, what would you call that? On your little hover wings. I love the single, like the Ghost is so fun. Like what other game has a ghost-like vehicle? It's so good.
# Ghost Squad.
That's right.
I mean,
Ghost
Mass
Squad.
Effect 1 had that really fun vehicle.
The bouncy one?
The Mako?
Yeah, the Mako. Everyone's favorite vehicle.
Yeah, not so much.
I will. They did bring in a thing called a Hammerhead in the second game. That was kind of like a ghost. It's kind of like a floaty thing.
Yeah, right.
I don't really know how to describe it, but it's kind of ghost-like in terms of that. It hovers over the ground.
It's the wrong franchise.
Yeah,
sorry.
Gears of War might have a single. Anyway, Ghost is just unique and awesome. Ride the ghost for life. All right, what else do we got here? So take us through the end here. End of the mission. We just kind of fight through the tunnels, right?
Yeah, and then we get out into the city, and then the cutscene for the next mission starts.
Yeah. Well,
So
there's
once
no
we
end
leave the
cutscene.
tunnels-
This
No.
one it just ends, right? Yeah.
Yeah. There's not really any
Which is why
end
I like playing
cutscenes
the
in
two
Halo
missions.
2. It just goes into the first cutscene for the next mission.
Right.
Yeah, the missions flow into each other quite well when
Mhm.
you play as one character.
Yes.
Yeah.
The other thing, I forgot to mention, there was one moment when you're going through the tunnels and you actually see the scarab fire through the tunnels. And you kind of see
that's
it
right. Yeah,
walking
that's
Yeah,
above.
it kind of
That's
like
a cool moment.
stalks you through the whole mission.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a cool moment. So yeah, I get, David, why you like this mission. There's a lot of variety in this mission. There's a lot of stuff to do, a lot to explore, plenty of weapons to pick up. You get a good vehicle section, which is great. And then it leads into the next mission, which is one of my favorites because it's tank time.
Duh, spoilers! Oh my god.
Oh, come on. Yeah, anything else before we go on to community and terminal?
No.
I will say, it's not a terminal, but you guys want to talk about Another Day at the Beach?
Yeah, do it real quick.
Yes.
Yeah, so way back in the day, you kids may or may not remember, but we used to have DLC that wasn't really DLC, but kind of was. So Bungie brought out the Halo 2 map pack on a disc, which you had to buy separately. And what it was a bunch of multiplayer maps. And also was a few single player additional content. Well, not single player content, but like bonus videos. I think there was a making of documentary, like a vid doc that Bungie used to love to put out. And there was also this cool thing called Another Day at the Beach, which was a cutscene that follows the other Pelican that gets shot down at the beginning of this. And it's a really cool cutscene that got remastered, which I didn't know until today, by the Halo 2 Anniversary team. You can access it by YouTube, which is the easiest way to do it, but you can also do it by going into the main menu of MCC, going to videos or extras videos, and it takes you to the channel. And if you scroll through the Halo 2 Anniversary cutscenes, go to the very end, and the second last one is a vid called Another Day at the Beach. And then after that is the two Jameson Lock videos that we kind of touched upon. That was kind of somehow getting Halo 2 and connecting it to Halo 5. It was really weird. But the Another Day at the Beach is pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
So it follows this group of ODSTs as they crash land on the beach behind Hotel Zanzibar. You actually meet up with them in the game when you get to Hotel Zanzibar. They even have some of the same dialogue that you in this vid that Cortana you can overhear during the mission. It's pretty cool. So this team of ODSTs gets attacked by another team, which is our elite miner, a sniper jack girl, and two grunts. And it's just a cool intro of how this team works together, gets its way up the beach. It's only about 4 minutes long. They noob combo the shit out of the elite, and it's such a cool scene of like the elite goes stealth, throws a grenade at the Marines and hits one of the helmets on the ODST. Sorry, he pulls off his helmet, throws it at the elite that's in stealth, and it goes off and knocks him out of stealth. And then the team kind of have a cool dynamic where he grabs one of them and they say toast him, and they one of them new combos him, and it's just so cool. And then the team is like, yep, we're here, we're barely survivable, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
we're ready, Cortana. It's cool.
And then you
It's
meet
very
them
cool
at Hotel Zanzibar, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Hey, how's it going?"
And then
I think
they get into the Jeep
with Halo 2. I mean, obviously they didn't necessarily know what they had with Halo 1, but with Halo 2, as they're writing this and building out this game, they're realizing, you have a straight line shooter, but you also have this opportunity to tell all these little side stories, and that's this is one of the first side stories that they get to begin to tell.
oh yeah, Halo 2 is bursting with lore everywhere.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. Yeah, so let's do. Why don't we do terminal? Then we'll go back to community since we're kind of in this lore zone. You want to talk about the terminal really quick, Krysta?
Yep. This terminal is going to be pretty short. It kind of is. It's very self-explanatory. Most of these terminals are, unlike the Halo CEA ones, which are
That's
like,
true.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
But this one talks about the Thiel Vadams, or we'll just call him Vadam. I keep wanting to say something different, but it's okay. I'm just gonna call him Thiel. Talked about Thiel's Thiel's attack on the planet called Chamber. Chamber was a major manufacturing center for the UNSC, had about 5.6 million people on it. Cool stuff. He, of course, attacks the planet with very little warning, was able to get his troops on the ground and himself, and goes straight for the UNSC headquarters personally. He got there so fast that the Marines that were supposed to be protecting the facility weren't even equipped, and because of his Sangheli honor, he let them actually... He stayed his sword for a little bit and actually let them arm themselves before engaging them in combat. This is one of actually the first times that a Sangheli is actually like... almost like... He's basically acknowledging humans' battle prowess, that he actually wants to have a battle with them. And Sangheli are all about fighting and honor in battle, honor in combat, fair fights, all of that stuff. So, I mean, it made sense for him to do it, but it's almost like he's kind of coming down and seeing us as capable warriors, which is a really big step between Sangheli-human relations, even if we're still shooting at each other.
Yeah. I think that's if you're just playing the games, you probably get a sense of that, of kind of that honor that the Sangheli have, but it's described very well in the extended lore.
Some places to go for that is definitely the Kilo 5 trilogy, second book, Thursday War. It's all about Sangheli. So, and I also did a lore section on the most recent episode of Podcast Evolved. You can check that out. But it just and that's pretty much the whole cutscene. It just ends with Thiel was able to take over the planet. Only like 81,000 people actually survived getting off of the planet, and it's just another stick in the mud for
stepping stone
for Thiel. Yeah, stick in the stone. Another takeover for him. Another victory.
Stick in the stone. What are you trying to say, Krysta? Stepping stone. Just stick in the mud. What the hell is going on?
I don't know.
Idioms. All sorts.
Idioms don't work. But whatever. It was just another victory for Thiel, and of course his fleet.
Feather in his cap, maybe. Feather in his cap.
Ooh,
anybody?
I like it.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the community question. We didn't get a whole lot of input, but this pistol. Come on, really? This pistol is just weak.
What have you done, Bungie?
Yeah, I don't know. The post I made in the Facebook group just asked like, what happened to the pistol, and nobody really said. There's two responses, I think, and maybe it was because everybody's just so disappointed in the pistol. I don't know.
And we've talked about it so much to death. Everyone it's the easiest target just to shit on.
But the first response actually he likes it.
So
really?
Brad Tharp is a crazy person. He says the Halo 2 Magnum might be second best in the series. Incorrect. Incredible high rate of fire. Accurate, dual wieldable, this weapon plus plasma pistol on legendary elites. So I know what he means. By noob comboing it, you can take out elites fairly quickly if you're good enough with the Magnum. But like even one shot from the Magnum with no shields, I don't think it kills on a headshot on legendary. Ooh. I haven't done it that often, but I would always SMG to noob combo as opposed to pistol to noob combo. But I don't know. If it's what he likes, it's what he likes. Nate Bacon. Hello, Nate. I'm glad we have a better balance between 1 and 2 for current arsenals. I'm glad we have a better balance between 1 and 2. What the hell is he talking about?
He's probably just saying that the pistols...
We have better pistols in between.
Yes.
Yeah, we have a balance between them. Yeah. Like I said, Reach's pistol is pretty good and does bring it back close.
The sidearm should be
3
capable.
Is also awful.
Yeah,
you
should be able to pull
we'll talk about it when we get there.
Your sidearm and finish off an enemy, not take 3 or 4 shots to take him out. Anyway.
I mean, I would have been okay with them just omitting a pistol at all in this game and just handing me a BR. I mean...
just give you some rocks. Just here's some rocks to pick up and throw at the guys.
That would be cool, too. I mean...
Or a dart gun.
Yeah, I mean, just a blow gun. Just...
All right, that will do it for our debriefing of the Outskirts mission from Halo 2. On the next episode, we'll be covering Metropolis from Halo 2. Yeah, fun missions. Send us your thoughts at podcastevolved@gmail.com or drop us a tweet at podcastevolved on Twitter. Until next time, evolve.
Evolved.
Nice.
Very nice.